Hello, my name is Mandolin Royal, and today I'm all set up to weigh and sort birds. Story of my life. So, as you can see, there's only one light on in my little brooder corner. I'm gonna work on getting the other 3 brooders set up and operational, which includes sanitizing feeders and drinkers over here at my little watering station, I guess you'd call it. That garbage can full of water holds me over in case the county turns off the water without telling us. They do that with every new subdivision that goes in. I have a little crowd of observers here. They're in grow out. Now my brooders, we built these about 2 years ago from scavenged materials, because if I could save some money, I will. The most expensive part about these brooders were these slide out trays, because I had to pay retail. But that makes cleaning really easy. This little front board here, it's my chick scraper, so the chicks stay in. And I just slowly pull the tray out. They step off of it. I dump off the gross shavings or peat moss, which is my preferred bedding, but right now everyone's still sold out on it, so extra fine shavings it is for now. I've got hooks that hang. I got super lucky on finding just the right length of hook to suit the distance of how I want the water and drinker to hang above, so I don't have to pull them out when I clean. I try to find increasingly more efficient ways of doing things without resorting to having wire as the floor of the brooder, because I don't like what it does to their feet over extended use. But these babies, they're 3 weeks old, day 21, and I'm going to split them up to increase their space. Every couple weeks I increase their space. So by splitting that group up between these other 3 brooders, that'll hold them over for a minimum of another 2 to 4 weeks, depending on what quantity ends up where based on how I sort them. So I have my little notepad and pen and a scale and 2 sort totes so I can split for gender, male, female. And it's a mixed group of American Bresse and my American Bresse Shintekler project. We'll just call it a project. I did wingband everybody. These are the weights in grams from last week. The Rising Star, it's a hybrid project bird. 285 grams at 2 weeks old. That's a lot. For a normal chicken, that's a lot. For a Cornish cross, that's pennies. But these aren't Cornish cross. These are birds that can live a long, healthy chicken life with no expiration date. So that's neat. I'm curious to see how this one turns out. All the Y's are project birds. All the W's are American Bresse. Some respectable numbers in here too. I do this weekly through 8 weeks so that I can track the growth rate. And the reason that I track the growth rate is to find those birds who did it best, those who did it too much, too fast, and those who didn't quite keep up. And that does a lot for my future breeding selection in having that history, because that history shows me which birds to pay attention to, which ones I should probably go ahead and label for dinner later. Because everybody gets a chance to grow. I don't go through and cull chicks because I don't want to feed them. Because if I feed them, I get a meal out of it. I try not to waste anybody that hatched, because it's a lot of effort to get to where you're hatching and producing chicks. And the last thing I want to do is find a reason to cull a chick before it had a chance to live its little chicken life. Everybody gets a chance. So I'm going to keep setting up and keep cleaning, and then we'll start digging into some of these numbers. So back in a second. The lights are on, and it's time to get rolling on getting everybody into their new homes. before I get this crowded with chicks, I wanted to show you what's going on here. The feeder and the drinker, with them being hung up like this, it does make it a lot easier to clean because I can just pull this tray out from under. But also of note is when you have the feeder positioned with the back height of the bird, there's a lot less waste. For their age, this feeder is almost too low, so I've been giving thought to getting some chain and carabiners so that it becomes adjustable in height to get that feeder level right with their back. Same is true for the drinker. It stays cleaner if it's at the appropriate height. The appropriate height is just right with their back. It's where you want to see this top rim. Not the bottom, but the top rim level with their back. I'll show you more about that when I do have some birds in here. And I'm thinking for organization and space, I'll do hybrid females, hybrid males, Bresse females, Bresse males, and that should give everyone ample room for the next several weeks. But then I was thinking, since 10 of these babies are going to go to our local Wilmington College as a part of their poultry science class, they're going to be grown out alongside Cornish cross. And since that growth rate is a lot different, I'm going to give these guys a head start before they move up to the school. So I'm going to go ahead and pick out 10 of them and do it that way. The 10 going to the college up here, the extras down here. And that way I can empty that top to move the next batch of babies into there. Because I have another batch that are 2.5 weeks behind these. And they're going to need more space soon. But this way I'm going to have like 3 or 4 weeks before these guys need to vacate that pen so that I can expand space once again. Because the worst thing you can do to your birds is overcrowd them. Please don't do that. You're going to lose growth rate. You're going to lose possibly some health if the conditions aren't great. If you're going to crowd them, you better be OCD on cleaning. You better be in there twice a day getting that poo out. Because if you smell chicken, you know what comes out the backside. If you can smell it, you're already overdue for cleaning. They can smell it 10 times sooner than you can. And if they have air quality issues, you're going to have issues. So don't crowd them and keep your chore list shorter that way. Now, enough procrastinating. Time to get into this. And I don't start by agonizing over which bird to grab first. I just open the door and grab a chick. And then I write down the tag number, get the chick on the scale, get the weight, write the weight, buy the tag number. I might not actually use these since I have my organization planned. I'll just put them right in there. But if I find any standouts to talk about, I'll go ahead and put them in the tote so I have them separated so I can tell you guys about them. Moving on. Well, I did end up using the totes because I forgot I'm still working out of the brooder. So I'm doing American Bresse male here. I'll do the females over here, but I haven't found them yet. I'm only halfway through, give or take. And I decided to go ahead and pick a focus of grabbing who I thought to be male based on visual. And then once I have them in my hands, I can do a closer inspection. I found Mr. Y19, 401 grams from last week's 285. That's a pretty good gain. And since he has been historically the fastest gaining of all the little male hybrids, I went ahead and stuck him with one that I think is female. Since they don't have combs really, it's just a flat cushion comb. They're a little trickier to see gender on. These I suspect are all male based on how that little flat comb is blooming red already. So it looks like it's probably going to be a boy heavy batch, but maybe not. So I'm going to go ahead and get through the rest of them. Get everybody situated. And I'll show you the list of how it shook out for this week. I might go get a glass of water though. It's been a long day. Alright, back in a few. Everyone now has a generous amount of space. Up top, we have who seems to be female for the hybrid and the best grower so far from the boys. I want to keep track of that bird since he's doing weird things. You can see there's a range in foot color. That's going to be a ongoing thing over the next, I don't know, 3 to 5 years. The goal is to get them blue-footed like the American Bresse, with the only difference being the comb. But there's going to be a lot of sorting and selecting to get that figured out. These are the other boys. Now, the lamps I use, because this is open air in my barn, and our barn is not insulated. Well, half of it is, but not this half. And I use reptile bulbs, 50 watt for inside the hatch room, the bare minimum, 75 watt out here. Today, it's 39 degrees. And these guys are 3 weeks old. They're not having any issues. We are below freezing at night, but that's ample to get them through. So up top here, I have 5 boys and 5 girls in the American Bresse. They're going to go to Wilmington College at some point, finish up growing there. The 5 males are going to come to dinner along with the Cornish cross that the school is going to grow. And the girls are going to go replace some of their layers that they keep year-round. Down below, there's just 6 left over. 3 male, 3 female. I'll keep them for myself and see how they pan out. Time will tell. I always feel so relieved when I get a big chore like this done. I'm going to do it again soon. But for now, I feel pretty okay. As far as the numbers go, shake some of that stuff off. In case you haven't realized, working with chickens is pretty filthy. I've washed my hands about 4 times now. Cleaned up a bunch of poo. So at day 21, these are American Bresse boys. It's obvious because of how large and pink their comb is, whereas the females were all pale and tiny. Till I got down to some small birds. These 2 are pretty little, especially this little hybrid boy. 214 is nothing, not compared to these other numbers. So now they're all set up. I'm going to weigh them again this coming Friday, see what the gains are. And I'm intrigued by this bird. Why 19? I bet he ends up in a feature video at some point over the next several months. Just for the little hybrid update. But I'm not going to forget about the American Bresse. They are my favorite go-to bird. They do absolutely everything I need a chicken to do. But in the wintertime, their large combs and wattles can be a little problematic, and that's why I'm working on this little hybrid project. To see if I can get the utility traits and the look of American Bresse into a bird that has no frostbite damage possible. That'll be neat. Oh my goodness. Who's the crybaby? You're not missing your friends. This is better for you. There's always somebody that wants to get mad. You have enough friends. You have everything you need. Alright. My fingers are cold. I've been out here all day. I'm gonna head back in and put this video up for you guys. Some more on this later. feel free to like and subscribe as I try to explain what the heck I'm doing here.